Welcome to the hottest real estate topics on the planet, keeping you up to date with all the creative ways to buy and sell real estate without bank qualifying, so anyone can build real income starting today. Here is another great show with Dealmaker Bill and Pete the Rookie.
Here we are at another episode of Flipping Houses for Rookies, and I'm Bill the Dealmaker, and this is Lisa.
It's still Lisa.
Where's Pete the Rookie?
He's still on vacation.
I think we lost him in the Bahamas.
It would be a good place to be lost, I think. He may not come home.
First day he was there, I showed him how to use Messenger on Facebook, so he was Facebooking me back and forth, sending me messages. Finally, I said to him, Peter, you're on vacation. Stop texting me.
Yeah. Yes.
Then I didn't hear from him, and then yesterday, because we did our live meetup yesterday, about an hour before the meetup, he says, Bill, I'm still on vacation. Like I didn't know.
Like you didn't know. Right. Just in case.
Want to make sure everything's okay for the meetup. You got everything you need? I said, Pete, I'll see you next week. So he must be getting ready to plug back in.
That's right.
How are you today?
We easily got his job covered.
Oh.
I mean, that was, you hand out papers when they walk in. That was easy.
Oh, last night you mean?
Yeah. Oh, I don't mean today.
So should we proceed
he was
to
worried, but
tell him
good.
that?
We just did.
Oh. Tell him, Peter, your job was way too simple. It wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be. Huh?
We got surveys. We got it all. Yeah.
It was a good meetup.
It was very good.
For summertime.
Good. Yeah.
Usually they thin out in the summer.
Right. Yeah. It was good. No, good. A lot of new people, too.
Yes. Yeah, and you can, if you go on, some people we're live streaming now. We live stream on Facebook. Mm-hmm. If you're on the podcast, you can find us at, just go on Facebook, and it's Flipping Houses for Rookies. Flipping Houses for Rookies. And the streams are there. We don't take them down. But we actually live streamed the, poor Emma, we live streamed the event last night, and I told her, first thing in the morning, take that event down. Because we usually put them into our membership area. And then this morning I was like, you know what, maybe I'll boost that. And she's like, I thought you told me to take it down. Right, Em?
It's very true.
Similar actions. Take it down, boost it, whichever.
Yeah.
They're almost the same.
Yeah, you know how it works. Huh? So is this a guy thing or is this a boss thing?
What?
Being like, mental like this.
Oh. I don't know that we can answer that.
This is not a public airwave, Lisa says.
I don't know. Em and I think we're just going to wait and not answer.
We'll just leave that one alone and let Bill come around to it later on his own. All right. Today is episode number 55.
55.
55. And we're going to call today Myth Busting.
Okay.
Myth busting, and I've listed about 6 of them that I hear all the time, but I definitely did not inquire. You didn't even know what the name of the show was until just now. No, I never
do. I just show up. I bring my coffee. Yeah. I got coffee with a straw this time.
Oh, a straw.
So I don't have to tip my head back like a Pez container.
Oh, is that what it is?
Just sip. Yeah, because with the lid, you got to go, oh, wait a minute. So now I'm like, okay.
So you're podcast safe now.
I'm podcast safe.
The live stream safe now. Is it hot?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's a little weird through a straw, but I'm actually used to it now.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
You handled it, huh?
Yeah. Because I don't like it ice cold. I don't know. But anyway. So,
I do notice something, though, that your cup of coffee today is larger than it was last week.
Nope, same size.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's my system. Got a system. Large coffee. Cumberland Farms.
It happens no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cool. What kind of coffee do they have?
They have a whole bunch of different flavors.
Oh.
It's actually a madhouse there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But what kind? You don't know what kind of coffee it is? Because I know that's Green Mountain.
Oh, you mean Green Mountain brand? No, I don't. I don't.
I have no idea.
It's probably there, and I don't look because I haven't had my coffee, so I don't read anything. I'm just like, go to the whatever. So, yeah.
All right, so let's go through these. And, of course, you might have heard other stuff that I might have missed. So
all right,
we should talk about that. So the first one is I need to have money as capital to get into this game. How many times have you heard that?
Yeah, that's actually the top one, I would think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks that.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, coming in, I probably thought similar, but now I don't. Yeah. I mean, that's the first one that goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I would agree.
why is that? Why don't you need money?
Well, there's a few different options, and I know you're going to go into, your options to buy, but you can buy with little money down, and if you are making cash offers, you could also use other people's money.
Right.
So it's very easy to not use your own money and get deals happening.
So I think that's the confusion. Mm-hmm. So you need money.
You do need money. It's not like you're
right. So which I didn't even write this one down. So you need money. So the first thing you think of is, well, I don't have any money to invest. Most people don't. Okay,
right.
That's common.
Yep.
So if I don't have money, then I need to have credit to go to the bank to borrow the money, which is probably myth number 2. I didn't even write down here.
But they're all kind of related.
Yeah.
We'll still keep this in number 1 for you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you think that
we won't penalize you.
Made it again. So people think that, if you don't have money, you got to go to the bank, and the bank lends you the money, and then you go buy the property.
Right.
Right? So not true. I mean, it is true. A lot of people do that. Eventually when you get, I guess, I don't want to say so big, but you get to a point where you could fall into that, especially if you're buying like commercial properties that's $10 million and stuff like that. I mean, the banks definitely have the most amount of money.
Right.
And they know that. And they flaunt that very arrogantly because they're bankers. Okay. But they also are extremely conservative. And conservative just means what? I mean, I'm just going to answer the question. I think conservative is cautious. That's right.
Cautious.
My definition of a conservative person is someone that's afraid to lose what they have. So they're being conservative. They're being cautious because they don't want to lose what they have.
Yep.
Right? So if a banker's got $10 million to lend someone, what doesn't he want to lose? His $10 million. So they go through a vetting process that allows them in their own mind to believe that you're not going to default. But obviously that's not true because people still default.
Right.
Right? So unfortunately, in my head, and this is Planet Bill now.
All right.
I think that a vast majority of decisions made on planet Earth are thought to be logical.
Versus Planet Bill.
I think it's never logical. I think it's always emotional. It's your feelings first because that's what you trust, and then you justify it with the logic. So bankers are the same way. I mean, they try to be very methodical and logical, and they think that they're a step above the population because they have more dollar bills than everybody else has. But technically, I think they're no different than we are. They've just their product that they produce is money.
Right.
My product that I produce is a house. Either I'm buying a house from someone that can't sell one, or I'm selling one to someone that can't buy one. That's my product. That's how I get paid.
Right.
And if you really break it down, I'm off on a tangent. If you really break it down, you have to have a completed project, right? Or a completed product. I mean, right. I mean, I can't sell you a half a bottle of water that I've already drinking half of it, right? I mean, it's probably not too
appealing.
Yeah,
it's less appealing than it was.
Unless you just walked across the desert and you really want that bottle of water
with a straw.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So if you have a completed product and somebody wants it or has a desire, there's a value to it. So you have a valuable completed product, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And once you have that, let me see what I'm trying to say here. So, if you have a lot of money, you have some sort of a valuable final or valuable completed product that people want. If you have no money, it's either you haven't a completed product or it doesn't have any value. Does that make sense? Because the only way you get money is with your valuable products, completed products. It's the only way you get money.
Right.
Right? Like let's just take a house. I mean, I looked at a house yesterday. I looked at 3 houses yesterday. One of them was a flipper's house. And I don't get it. It never ceases to amaze me what people do with houses. House is completely like, anyways, they took hardwood floors and they cut sections of hardwood floors out. And then, now the hardwood floors that are in there are completely like just old and worn. You know how they look? And,
yeah.
Right?
And you just sand them and stain them.
Right? They took sections of it out, like not even square sections, just odd sections. Like they're shaped like an L.
Like a pattern? They're making a pattern?
No, just random, like it's shaped like an L or it's like a rectangular, just sections of wood. And they replaced it with already finished floor. Not a laminate floor, like real hardwood floor, but was already sanded and stained and everything. Finished and stained. Right. And it wasn't even the same color. So there's these
and this
random...
was their end product. They weren't still working on it.
No, it's in the middle of a renovation and they stopped.
Okay.
But I'm thinking, how do I fix that? Because first of all, they cut the floor, and now I have saw marks all over the floor, right? Because they didn't like cut it exact square. They used a skill saw, so they like went over a couple inches. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So now I'm there looking at this house. It's not a completed product, right? It's a freaking mess, right? So I have to go in and fix it.
Yeah. Right.
So the house has been on the market for a while, and that's the reason why. It's not a completed product. So there's no value to it.
Right.
So, I mean, it's listed for like, I don't know, 110, I think it was. I told my realtor, I said to her, she put an offer in for like 63. I'm not doing that, she said. I said, why? She says, it's an insult. I said, you should see the house. It's an insult that they made me look at this house. Because that's how I feel about it. I mean, they ruined the house.
Right.
I mean, it was a decent house, and they ruined the house. I mean, and it was all like crappy stuff. You know, like the sidewalk was chipped, and the garage doors were brand new, but they were stuck in open position. The springs were missing. The basement had water. There's windows that were like 1970s, and they tried to take them apart, and there's pieces missing. It was just crap.
Right.
That's why they don't have money.
Yeah. Right.
Because they couldn't complete the product.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things we do when we flip houses is we take an ugly product and we make it pretty. Right. But you know as well as I do, especially when it comes to money, right? The lender is concerned about this. The first thing the lender is concerned about is the security of his money, right?
Yep. That's right.
The second thing he's going to wonder is are you capable? And when I mean capable, I mean thick-skinned enough and strong enough to get through all the crap and finish the house.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because a lot of people don't get to the end. They give up. In fact, one of the shows Peter and I did not too long ago, we talked about being stubborn. I think you and I talked about that too, just being stubborn. You and I, the reason why we are sitting here is because we're just damn stubborn people. Mm-hmm. We have a dream.
We can't. We won't let it go.
Won't let it go. Won't give up.
Like a little dog with a bone.
Exactly. And just keep going, right? And that's the reason why it happens.
Yeah.
So, my point is that money gets attracted to value, right? So if something's valuable, then money will get attracted to it, right?
Right.
Because that's what it does.
So tying it to the myth, it means people will, if you find a deal that's a good deal, people will help you and lend.
Right. Before we get there, I
Right.
wanted to make the point the way that you get money is to have a final product, a valuable final product. Okay? So what you need is the ability to make that valuable final product.
Right.
And then money will come. Okay? Mm-hmm. So the money guys will give you money because why?
Because you're going to make a product that will sell.
And they know that their money's safe and they'll get the money back.
Right.
So what you really need is let them know that you can do this. Mm-hmm. They have to have security or confidence in you that you're going to do this.
Right.
Once that happens, the floodgates open. So you don't need money. You need the ability to convince somebody. And that's not even convince somebody. You need to have the ability to do the projects.
Yeah.
Okay, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. Yep. Okay, but
okay.
So it's not, you don't need money. You need to have confidence, and you need to have the fortitude to do what most people won't do. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I told you right now, I've got 6 houses with my daughter's house. Right? Mm-hmm. 2 weeks ago, I was like, whee! Right? There's too much going on. So I reeled it in. Right? So I got a couple closings coming, and I'm already like, that's why I'm out looking at houses. Because I'm already over my girl, like, so what are we doing? So what are we doing? I need to look at a house. Well, you're too stressed, she says. You've been stressed the last couple of weeks, she says. You don't want to buy another house, do you? I'm like, what do you mean? So you just got to have that, you know, I mean, 2 weeks ago, yeah, it was a couple bad weeks. I had a bunch of crap going on. I had some trouble with closings, but I got through it. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that when I do my closing, say in 2 weeks, that money, that few $100,000 is reemployed, or at least part of it is, because that's what my money guy expects me to do.
Right.
Right? I don't want to wait to close. Say it again?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, if, you know, you're paying good interest, they want to continue to get good interest.
They want to collect their interest. That's right.
That's what they
So we don't. He doesn't want me to close and then go look for a house and spend 2 months looking for a house, right?
Right.
So I've already been looking. Right? I've got some offers in.
Absolutely.
But you have to be willing to, because a lot of people won't do that. They'll get nervous and they'll be like, well, you know, what happens if it doesn't close? It's going to close.
Right.
I mean, we were talking about a coaching client last night, and remember we were talking about how they had a house, they're having trouble selling it.
Oh, yeah. And
they sold it.
Right.
You know, they lost a couple grand, and that was it.
Right.
But they sold it.
Even if it takes a while, it sells.
Eventually, they sold it. It took them, you know, months to do it, and it was past their day. It wasn't anything like what they expected.
Right.
But they did sell it. Right?
Yeah.
So, as long as you don't give up, it will sell. Right? All right. So, once you know that you can create a product and you know you can do that, then money guys will invest in you. And that's what they're really investing in. They're investing in your ability to be able to pull this off.
Absolutely.
And make a nice house and, you know, and keep your cool and, you know, not have the cops chasing you and houses burning down and contractors leading you and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Right? Because you keep your agreements and you do what you're supposed to. So, what you need is ability. That's what you need. And most people have it. I mean, especially if you follow some of my stuff. I mean, we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. Not following my stuff, but another myth.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So, what you need is you need to have the talent to find the deals, deal hunting.
Deal hunting.
Right? You need to have the talent to be able to negotiate to some degree.
Some bit, yeah.
And the guys in my system don't even need to do that because we use scripts, so let the scripts do the negotiating. You don't even have to learn how to be a master negotiator.
Yep.
Right? So basically you send out some mail, you set up an operator system, you do a free recorded message, you set up an operator system. Right. And once you do all that, you send out your mail. A week later, your inbox goes ding, right? The lead comes in. You pick up the telephone. You talk to somebody for 20 minutes, and you decide, should I do this deal or shouldn't I do this deal? Right? And it's really, I mean, I don't want to say it's that simple, but once it's set up, it is that simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You go out and find a deal, and then you're like, yeah, I could do this. Now you need to convince the money guy, somebody that has money, because money guys don't know how to find a deal. Most of them don't know how to negotiate. Some of them do. I'm not saying that all, because a lot of people made money with real estate. Right? And there are clever guys, but that's a small population.
Yeah.
Right? So if you understand all that, and especially the stuff that we show you, because we give a lot of information away for free to get you going, right? Because we believe in the working man, and you should be able to get some education, start to do a little bit, and then put more, do a deal or do a little bit, and then put more money into your education, right? And then do a little bit more, and so it's what I call a self-liquidating education, right? So in the end, you don't need money. Now, does that mean you don't need $1 or $100? I mean, I got an offer on a house. I need $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, you need little bits of your own, but you don't need to be able to fund these houses yourselves. Is really the key message out of that myth.
Yeah.
Myth number one. How many do we have?
6.
Oh, okay.
But this is the hardest one.
Okay.
Because that's what most people believe. So I just want to make a point there about the $1,000. So I put $1,000 down on this house, and I'll probably close on it. I haven't bought it yet, but
yeah.
If they say yes today, I'll give my girl $1,000 tomorrow and a money order. So it comes right out of my account. Okay.
By girl, you mean realtor?
My realtor, yeah.
Okay.
And thank you. And
so people know he doesn't know girls and he doesn't buy.
Girls are all around me.
Doesn't buy help.
Yeah, I love it. I couldn't run my business without girls. They're organized. They're neat.
Well, Emma was telling me your whole life is surrounded by girls.
Yeah. 2 wives, 2 daughters, 2 sisters.
Yeah.
Ex-wife and a new wife. They always ask, 2 wives? What are you, one of those kind of guys?
Yeah.
So you put this $1,000 down, but here's the thing. It's only for the closing. So a month when we close, when I borrow the money, I get the money back. It's just for a month. It's like it's not the whole 6 months or whatever. Okay, good. 2. Myth 2, and these are arbitrary numbers. They were just what I wrote down. So they don't mean that this is the second.
Order.
Yeah, this is not the second one.
Not the second
just the one the way I thought
second
of it.
Importantest.
Yeah. Investing is risky. I'll lose my money.
That's actually can be a truth if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Right. So in order to make it not a truth, you just do have to actually do diligence and learn, how to do it appropriately.
Right.
So
here's my first question.
Could be anything. So it's not that this is different than that, but
exactly, it could be with anything.
Yeah, anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
right. I mean, guys doing the stock market, right?
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing there, you can lose money. Yeah, so it's just basic, but yeah.
So here's my question.
But real estate's pretty guaranteed. They don't,
yeah.
Secure. I wouldn't say guarantee. There's no guarantee. So here you go. What were you going to say?
If I were to buy real estate,
yes,
and didn't use money, how am I going to lose it?
Your own money, you're not losing, right? You're not. Nope.
Any money.
Any money.
Okay, so is it or is it not correct that I could sign an option agreement with someone? Mm-hmm. An option agreement means that you and I agree that I'm going to buy this house for $100,000, and I've got 3 months or 6 months or 7 years, depending on what we decide, to come up with that money. That's an option, right?
Right.
Option means I just became part equity share with you in that property. Deed's in your name, and you just gave me a share of the equity. I gave you $100. I could give you $1.
Yeah, you could.
And it would consummate the deal. You have to have some sort of money exchange to make the deal consummated. Right?
Yep.
Did I or did I not just buy a piece of property?
You did.
I didn't buy it technically. I bought control over the property.
That's right.
And there's a big difference. I think that's where a lot of people really get messed up, Lisa. Because what people don't realize, and I meant to mention this last night and I didn't, what people realize is they think owning the property is the right thing to do. Well, let's put it that way. Let's put it a different way. They think owning the property is the way you make money. And that is not true. Controlling the property is what makes you money. Now, sometimes owning it is a way of controlling it.
Yeah. I mean, owning it is definitely an option, but it's not the only one.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So when people think they want to become a real estate investor, right? First they think is that I got to own this property. What they don't realize is I can come along to you and I can help you with some sort of debt relief. Not you're desperate or foreclosure or nothing like that. It's just that you've moved on in life. You know, you got a new beau or something like that, and you're moving to Alaska or something like that, At least it's like,
You hear
no,
that all the
Bill.
time. Like,
I'm going to Alaska, yeah. No, Bill, it's Florida, not Alaska.
I don't really know how that popped in your head, but okay.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why I wanted to dramatize it so you got how stupid it
I was
was.
like on datingeskimos.com.
Dating Eskimos. Oh, no. Is this done in an igloo?
I don't know. You're going
we
to Alaska.
could
I don't
really go
I
off
don't
on
know.
this. We could really go. It's a good thing Peter's not here. I'm sure he would have some smart ass remark about that. Oh my God! Something about touching noses. I can hear him now.
Ew, that's not right. All right. So anyway,
that's a Peter thing. Anyways,
I don't even want to hold my nose.
Yeah, thanks. Lisa's doing her job. She's reeling it back in. So for $1 or $10 or $100, I am now controlling this piece of property. So if I only got $100, I mean, go in your pocket now. How many properties could you buy for $100? Better question is how much money could you make? Well, if you follow my system, a lease option is 15% equity. So on a $200,000 house, that's $30,000 just on the equity spread. What about the cash flow that you can make every month?
Right.
Often it's $200, $300, $400 a month. That's $5,000 a year.
Yeah.
$5,000 a year on a common lease option is 5 years, which is 60 months. So if you make $5,000 a year times 5 years, okay, on cash flow,
right,
that's $30,000. No, $25,000, right? So $25,000 plus you made $30,000. I'm thinking that's a $55,000 deal for how much money? $100.
I forgot if you said 100 or 10. I was like, oh God. I think I was still in Alaska.
Yeah, Lisa's like, we're getting a test
I knew
already
it was
this
a low
morning.
number. It was a low number. Yep.
And you never own the property. And oh yeah, by the way, what's the risk in that? Now, could you walk away from it and piss off your person that you leased from? Absolutely. Should you do that? I prefer not to.
No. Right.
But that's as far as it goes, is that guy getting pissed off at you. That's it.
Right.
That's the most uncomfortable point of the whole deal. It's not a foreclosure. It's not borrow money from your father and losing it, or your uncle, or Aunt Jane, or anything like that.
Yep.
Right? And there's no. So why not go find, I don't know, half a dozen of those deals, a dozen of those deals over the next year or two? Get your, because I got to tell you, if you can buy and sell lease options, you can buy and sell rehabs.
Right. That's right.
I mean, the process is a little bit different, but if you get used to one process,
right,
like lease options, rent to own, we call it in other parts of the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, with no risk and no money, you get some deals under your belt, and you now have experience.
Right. Right.
And you can move up into the rehabs and move up into the owner finance deals and all those other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a great way to get started. Don't have any money? That was the first one, right? We don't have any money?
Don't have any money, number one.
Okay, good. So, don't have any money for investing? Okay, here's what you do. Open the newspaper to the rental section. And the people that are renting houses or renting apartments, call them up and say, would you do a rent to own? And if you do that every single day, I promise you, somebody will say, yeah, I'd like to hear about that. And you go do a presentation and you say, I would like to rent this property with an option to buy it. Somebody will say yes. How much money did you need to do that? You need your time. Am I going to do that? Hell no. But somebody that doesn't have any money and has time, when they're drinking their coffee in the morning, they can make 2 or 3 phone calls.
Right.
Say, would you consider renting your place with an option to buy?
I get those calls all the time for everything I sell.
Yeah.
All the time. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if I needed to, I'd say yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they do. They call constantly.
Yeah. Right? So you could do the same thing. You could actually find a deal that way.
Yes. Yeah, you could.
Because one thing that I do know, and I know this for sure because this happened in my life, if you don't know how to make money without money, you'll never know how to make money with money. It's just the way it is. If you don't know how to make money without money, You won't know how to make money with money. And that simply means if you don't know how the deal is, how to structure deals, it's what we talked about. If you don't have a valuable final product, like how to structure deals and how to keep things going and how to keep it organized and how to talk to customers and how to find deals, if you don't know how to do any of that stuff, having money is not going to do anything.
Right.
You're just going to waste it. You're going to buy things trying to solve those problems.
Right.
Well, those things could be solved without money.
Yeah.
So it's like a good thing to like not have money and learn this business without money.
Right.
Then when money comes on board, you're clever, and the money guys stick to you because they see that you're very crafty.
Right.
Right?
And even if you have money, don't use your money. Do it the other way.
Please don't use your money. Pretend like you don't have any.
Yeah.
Right? Which most money people good money people are good at hiding it, pretending like they don't have it.
That's right.
Yeah. If you want to get more knowledge on that, I forgot who the name of the author is, but just read the Millionaire Next Door or the one minute millionaire. Yeah, that's making decisions.
I'll look it up while you go on to number 3.
Are
you going on to number 3?
I will now. Successful investors, number 3. Successful investors have some hidden data and can time the market so they have an advantage. Have you ever heard that one before?
No, I never heard that, but it's
people think that investors
do you have secrets?
Have some secrets, right? Hidden data or secrets. Right? I don't want to use secrets, but secrets is a good word.
They have some insight.
Yeah. They have like some special information, like they go down to the Grand Poopah Club, right? And they smoke their cigars and they say, "Oh, this zip code is doing good right now. Let's not tell anybody. Let's go buy it up."
And well, the funny thing about all the real estate stuff, it's all public.
Yeah.
I mean, if there really are no secrets, I don't think.
Right.
Is this the book? Hang on, let's before we go too far. 1 Minute Millionaire: The Enlightened Way to Health.
No.
I mean wealth. Duh.
Wealth. Okay, yeah.
Wealth. Duh. Sorry, it's just one letter. Is that the one you think?
I think so. Who's the
Purple?
author? Yes.
Mark Victor Hansen and Woody Allen.
Hansen
and Woody Allen. Did Woody Allen make it a movie? No, I'm kidding.
I don't know about Woody Allen, but
I know that's what it says. Though.
Mark Victor Hansen. That's him. 1 Minute Millionaire.
Purple.
Yep.
Mark Victor Hansen. 1 Minute Millionaire. Okay, sorry. The Enlightened Way to Wealth, not health. All right. Anything else we can help? Okay, so go back. Sorry.
So there's some idea that investors are like some elite group, and they have some secrets. Now, I will tell you that the more you do anything, I don't care if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, or if you're a bus driver, it doesn't matter. You will notice that the more you do the job and the more observant you are, the more you learn how to make that job simpler.
Right.
And you get closer and closer to the inside circle, because the more ability you have in that industry, the more you get to like what we call the insider circle. In other words, you'll hang around with people that have the same ability you had. Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
So, like with us, I mean, you and I have conversations that other people will probably not have.
Right.
You know, we'll be talking about, our investors and our realtors and our lawyers and, I was telling my sister a story last night about a very distinguished lawyer in town telling me that he wanted me to about an encroachment issue on, and it was this weird story. And what he said was completely an oxymoron. And when I brought it to my lawyer's attention, he goes, "Yeah, you're right." And it was just like a blurb, you know what I mean? But because I do it every day, that's all I do is eat, sleep, and drink real estate. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not that I'm smarter than a lawyer. It's just that I do it every day. So we're I don't want to say in the inside circle, but we're talking to people that are doing what we do.
Right. Exactly.
So eventually you find those people, and you get in that, I don't want to say click because it's not really true.
It's your network. You build your network.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. So your network is very tight.
Network. So
your network's very tight. You go to people that you know can get it done. Mm-hmm. And as you cycle through, you'll realize the ones that you can rely on and the ones you can't rely on. Mm-hmm. And that's where the secret is right there, mm-hmm. is going through enough people that you find the guys that are very capable.
Right.
Or girls that are very capable. You know, you start finding people that really know their craft and their talent.
Right.
And those are the people that you go to get things done. Right. And that's the secret. Okay, it's not like there's some hidden. No, you start. You know, like for example, we put an offer in a house yesterday. It was on the market like 2 hours.
Right.
You know, so that means it went on the market. I knew nothing about it when I woke up yesterday morning.
Right.
It went on the market. I looked at the house. I brought my contractor to look at the house, and my realtor was there and looked at the house. 3 different visits, and I put an offer in 2 hours.
Yeah.
And what she's telling me is well, this is a perfect FHA house. You're going to be bidding up against a bunch of people. Okay, well, they aren't here right now.
Right.
I don't see anybody else looking at the house except me. I've been here all afternoon.
How does she even know that? I mean, like, whatever. I mean, that can happen FHA. It happens every house.
See what I'm saying?
There's other people. Again, it's not a secret. Real estate's public information.
Right.
People know it's,
right.
You know, people watch the market and,
right.
You know, so they see what comes out.
Right. My point is that she right away knew she said something stupid because I'm like, they're not here. She goes, you're right. I'll get the offer now. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things. Yeah. You know what I mean? She was just playing devil's advocate in her head. But that's what kills people more than anything else is their own voice.
Oh yeah, just get out of your head. Which is also a hard thing to do.
Very hard.
We all say it like, yeah, just get out of your head, but
very hard.
We all do it. Yeah.
So
we don't want to make light of it.
Yeah. So there isn't some.
There's no secret.
There's no secret.
There's no secret anymore. Zillow, Realtor, you just Google.
Right.
How are houses selling in XYZ area? Like, it comes up.
Sure.
And you just find it. So
the secret, if there's anything, is it's right under your nose in plain sight.
Right.
And what's right under your nose in plain sight is to do it and get out there and meet people and do things and screw it up. Because there is no way, I have never once, and I've met hundreds and hundreds of people that have done real estate. Because we train a lot, we do a lot of events, and hundreds of people. I have never once met anybody that has done real estate and not messed it up or has their own war stories or got bullet wounds or shrapnel or anything like that. Mm-hmm. This is not a shrapnel-free game. Mm-hmm. Just doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Same as anything. It's kind of the same as life.
It's how you learn.
It's
right?
just, you just
it's how you learn.
Out. Yeah.
So, there's really only 2 ways to get an education, as far as I'm concerned. There's only 2 ways to get an education. Yeah. One is you do it yourself, screw it up, and learn from your mistakes, or get a mentor.
Right.
That screwed it up and made mistakes.
Right.
So he can guide you or she can guide you. Those are the only really 2 ways that you can learn. Right. When you read a book, you read a history book. What are you reading? About guys that did it and it got written down. You know?
Yeah.
When you read a math book, what are you doing? You're figuring out the guy's success, but how many formulas did he do before he got that one?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Thomas Edison. Is it Thomas Edison with the light bulb, right?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it is Thomas Edison. Don't know what you think he invented.
Yeah.
Yes, that is.
Okay, good. You know,
I'm wondering if you're going to say, like, toilet or something, but no.
But, I mean, how many, my family is from Fort Myers, Florida. I will tell you that I go down there at least twice a year to visit my family. I will say that that's the second reason why I go there, because the first reason why I go there is because there's a Thomas Edison museum down there that's right around the corner from my mom's house. And it's Ford and Thomas Edison were very good friends, and this was their summer home.
Right.
You want to know why I go there? I think it's absolutely freaking fascinating because he has all these exotic plants on this plants.
Like growing plants. Okay.
Plants, yeah. From a seed.
Live
from a seed,
yes.
Right?
I thought you were saying plans, like his original plans.
Oh, I see. Yeah, plants.
Plants with a T. Yep.
And there's all these exotic plants and trees and everything in his yard. And the reason why they're there is because when he was trying to invent the filament for the light bulb, he was importing all of this material and trying to figure out what to use as a filament.
There you go. See? So it was part of his plan.
Yeah, so it was like, all these from Australia and Iceland and all these different, because he was trying to figure out development, right? That's a lot of damn work.
Yeah, it is.
That's trial and error.
Yep.
So he didn't have the ability to find a mentor to show him how to make a light bulb. Mm-hmm. So he had to learn it. He had to do it with trial and error. Yeah. So education is the same way.
Education, and you're still going to make mistakes. I mean, you still will learn. I mean, it's just like you go to school, you learn things, you still figure it out after, and but it so gets you so much more prepared, and it just jumpstarts you so much easier. I've
had a few hundred closings, and I still fumble through them.
Absolutely.
I got one now.
I wrote a contract yesterday, and I don't even know how many I've written. I mean, it's not like thousands, don't get me wrong, but I totally had the buyer and seller all mixed up. Yeah. It was just like, wait a minute. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's a silly mistake, but still, you're going to make them. So,
right.
Somebody else read it, and they were like, I think this is wrong. I was like, oh, that is like basic stuff. I think it was lender. It was actually lender. But anyway, go ahead.
So the success is to just do it and learn from it.
Yeah.
Failures are not failures. Yeah. They're just education.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 4. I can't read upside down.
I keep trying these whole meetings, but I'm not good at it. So
all good investments are taken, and I've missed them.
Oh, hell no. Can we just say hell no and go on? There are so many situations that people have with their properties that you just don't even know.
Right.
Now, are there other investors that are good at this, getting them? Yeah, that's true. I mean, is there competition? Absolutely. But I don't think there's going to run out of problem homes, or really problem properties. It's whatever is with them. But yeah.
So let's go back to the story I just told you a minute ago about my realtor. Says that this house is good for FHA buyers. They probably weren't going to sell it to you because it's good for FHA buyers. What she meant by that is it didn't need a ton of renovation. Was kind of like
an owner occupant can buy it.
Yeah, they could paint and do the floors. It was doable stuff. Mm-hmm. It was not, like normally our normal ugly.
Yep.
That exact thought is this number 4. All good investors are taken, and I've missed it. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think that way. I think put the offer in and let the bank tell me that they don't want it. Mm-hmm. Because how do I know that 13 other people didn't think that exact thing and then didn't put their offer in?
Right.
Because that's what will happen.
Yeah.
They'll think, I can't buy this. Yeah. The bank will never sell this to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does the bank even know that they're looking at the house? Probably not.
The bank doesn't. They don't know any.
Right?
I mean, they don't know who's looking at it. They don't know whatever.
Well, they do if they look at the realtor list, but they don't know if you're interested or not. They have no idea what you're thinking until you communicate it.
Yeah.
Right? So, there you go. The last thing I want to say on this, and then we'll move on, is having given well over 3,000 offers, I know a couple of facts. These are just statistics from my own business. I can't remember if it's 34 or 36%. So let's say 35%. 35% of all my properties that I purchased were from a follow-up. In other words, we looked at the house, we made an offer, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 12 months later, we bought the house. So the simple solution for that is time changes everything. I mean, one of the stories I tell in a meetup, which I'm not going to do now because we don't have time, but I was in a house one time making an offer. Guy looked at me like I was nuts, practically threw me out, being dramatic here. Yep. 4 months later, he comes home on a Friday night, finds his wife in bed with his best friend.
La.
Now, all of a sudden, he's blowing my phone up asking me, well, it's true.
I don't know.
So all of a sudden, he's blowing my phone up on Saturday and Sunday asking me if my offer is still good. Okay, what changed? Not my offer.
Right.
His situation. Time changes everything. And, of course, that's a little bit of a dramatic story, but it really did happen to me.
Well, you just don't know what is going to change in anyone's life circumstance. So
exactly.
couldn't get sick. They could lose their job.
Car could break. They could have had an
really
accident.
Just don't know.
Yeah. A windstorm could tear the house up, and it's the thing that they're pissed off because they keep spending money on the house. I mean, I've had so many different reasons. Point is
I have a house. I continue it's been like 2 years, and they're just a sweet couple. They're gonna move eventually, and literally, they love talking to me. I call them every 6 months. Eventually, we'll get it. So it's when they're ready. It's
So here's a law. This is a law.
It's a law.
It's a law.
Okay. We're gonna break it.
People do business who they like.
Oh, that's
people
absolutely
will do
true.
business that they like.
Yep, that's true.
So what are you doing with these people? They like you. They talk to you. They like you. When it comes time to sell their house, if you can get relatively close, who they're going to sell the house to?
Right.
You're going to be first option.
Right.
So when you make friends with people, you're actually making it so you're signing a statement saying, "Well, I'll be the first right of refusal." Mm-hmm. That's really what you're doing.
Right. Right.
You're creating this relationship that you'll be the first right of refusal.
Right. Yep.
Oh, we think we're going to sell the house. Okay, George, let's call the realtor. Well, you better call Lisa first before we call the realtor. She's been so nice to us, and she calls us every 6 months. Let's talk to her before we talk to the realtor, okay? First right of refusal.
That's right. They will.
And that's exactly what will happen.
They do. They check in with me if I don't check in with them.
Yeah. See what I mean?
I think they've adopted me, and I don't know it.
Well, in that case, you may not have to buy the house. Just do it through probate.
There you go.
Get your inheritance.
There you go.
But the point is that on number 4, all good investments are taken, and I have missed it. Really what you missed, and this is the punchline, really what you've missed is the ability to market and deal hunt and find those deals. Right. That's really what you're missing.
Right. At most, you're just missing the opportunity.
Right.
Because you haven't marketed, you haven't whatever. But that does not mean there are not plenty of opportunities out there. So
I think the point that you're making is there's plenty of situations out there. And what I'm saying is if that's not enough, time will change it and there'll be even more situations.
Right. There will be more.
The point that I'm making now is the only way to do this business is to cast your net and have them come to you. You don't need to be going to buyers.
Right.
I mean to sellers.
To sellers. Yeah.
You need to be going to you don't need to be going to your sellers.
Yeah.
Chasing houses, vacant houses, looking for vacant houses is not a way to find real estate.
Right.
Houses don't sign contracts. People sign contracts. Now, granted, if there's a vacant house, that's a sign of a situation or a broken person or something like that. But I will tell you, very often, if the house is vacant for very long, that person doesn't care about that house. And they don't care. It's not bothering them. It's not a problem for them.
Right,
they disconnected from that problem. So finding them and getting them to cooperate is very willy-nilly. It's the worst way to spend your time.
Right.
I'd rather send a letter, sneak through the mailbox, and find somebody who's getting divorced, or somebody has a probate house, or somebody that's got a job transfer, or somebody that's got a boyfriend and girlfriend that are getting married and got 2 houses.
Yeah.
I'd rather find one of those situations and sit down and talk to those people,
right,
than anybody else. So the point is you need to cast your net out and get them to be calling you. So what you really need is you need a good stream of phone calls coming in.
You do.
So that you can find the income.
Yep.
I mean the opportunity.
Opportunities.
The opportunity.
Yep.
Right? So if you have a good stream of opportunity, then you'll be fine. So what you don't have there is opportunity.
That's right.
You're not deal hunting enough.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Good. Number 5, investing is complicated. Tell you what's complicated.
I don't know, complicated.
I'll tell you what's complicated.
Yes.
The conversation you're having with yourself. That's what's complicated.
I mean, when I go.
I don't mean you personally. I mean just in general.
The straw thing is weird. I have to rethink that next week. Anyway. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's it's definitely, everything's in your head. I mean, any job, hobby, whatever you do, there's learning and you do whatever. So is it complicated once you know it? No.
Right.
Is cooking complicated? No. I mean, it is to some people. It's not. Yeah, whatever.
So let's
Complication's
paint
what
a
you
picture
think.
here, okay?
Yeah, go ahead, paint away.
So it's summer.
Painting is
It's
complicated.
That's complicated.
I've tried that.
So it's summertime, right?
Yes.
And you never swam before, and you go over to your friend's house or whatever, and there's this big beautiful pool and this beautiful house, and there's food on the table in the shade, and there's some cocktails or ice cream or whatever you like is over there, right?
Yep.
And you're walking around this pool, and you're thinking to yourself, how do I swim? How am I going to do this? How do I get started? What am I going to do? And you're walking around, and you got all this anxiety because you're thinking, well, I can move my arms, and well, that person over there is moving their feet. I wonder how they do that, but that person's doing it a little bit different than the other person because you're watching other people doing it. Well, I can maybe get on the float.
Right.
Maybe I'll jump in instead of using the ladder. And you see what's happening?
Yeah.
What do you need to do?
You're just figuring it out.
Yeah. Well, you're not doing that. You're not figuring it out.
Well, in your description, you were figuring out how you're going to learn to swim, weren't you?
Okay. Well,
is that not where you were going?
That's
what it sounded like.
That's what my point is.
Oh, okay. You're figuring it out.
You're having this conversation, but you're not figuring it out. You're trying to figure it out in your head.
Oh, you're trying to figure it out. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So no, I want to make sure you clarify this because if I say,
go ahead, clarify.
So you're trying to figure. You think you're figuring it out.
Oh,
you think you're figuring it out.
All right. So what are you going to do? Jump in?
Just jump in the damn water. Because natural instincts.
You're sending people back to what was the myth about
Number 3. Yeah.
Risk.
Yeah.
If you jump in, go on the low end.
See what I mean? So here, that's my exact point. So all you need to do is manage your risk. Know that you know that something's going to go awry. So go into the part of the water where worst case scenario is you put your feet down and stand up because it's only 4 feet high.
Right.
So if you're going to do real estate, then do a lease option where you're only going to use $100 at risk. Just manage your risk.
Yeah.
Don't think about how I'm going to do it. Just say, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
Oh, I stand up because the water's only 4 feet tall. Oh, I could do that.
Yeah, right. Most people can.
Right?
Yes. I can stand up in the tall end. No.
Spoken from a girl comes from an Italian family. Some people can stand up in the 4 foot
We're
section.
the tall side of Italian. I don't know. Most of my relatives are table high.
Pete's mom is not tall.
Yeah, my mom's not either, but my dad was. So I guess we got that. But
so you see what I'm saying? So you don't need to figure.
That's right.
Figure. What you need to do is say, well, what if I were to go in the deep end? What's the worst can happen? Oh, okay, I can't touch the ground. Okay, so I won't do that.
Right.
But if I go on the shallow end, I could stand up. So I'll jump in over there and just see what happens. I'll test it first.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good analogy. Wasn't sure where you're going with the pool party, but you got there.
But if you walk around, you're like, you're thinking about this. None of it. It's all theory. It's all significant.
Yeah.
Right. Just do something that you feel like if you make a mistake, then it won't be the end of the world.
Right.
It won't be devastating. It won't kill you or won't take all your money or anything like that.
Well, you could drown in the short end, but you shouldn't.
So what's really complicated is what you're telling yourself in your own head. Mm-hmm. That's what's complicated. Mm-hmm. It's all the figure. It's all the analysis of paralysis or paralysis from analysis.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You numb yourself because you think, well, this could happen and that could happen. Right. This could happen. That could happen. Right. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because something is going to happen. You can't predict. I can't predict your emotions and your feelings because I don't know what's going to happen. Right. I don't know what's going to trigger you, or not trigger you. I don't know if anything at all is even going to trigger you. I don't know any of that. Right. So the best thing I can do is say, "Hey, Lisa, what do you think?" Right, and you'll tell me. Now I know.
Right.
So you say, "Hey, Lisa, what do you think if I were to maybe rent your apartment with an option to buy? Is that something you'd be interested in?"
I would consider it. There you go.
Can I come over and talk about it?
Sure.
You show me the place? Mm-hmm. Good. What's the worst that can happen? They say no. Mm-hmm. Really?
Right.
If you can't take a no, just get out.
Yeah. Well, most things. Yeah, you have to be able to take a no. All right.
Number 6.
We're coming down now.
The best investments require knowledge that most people don't have.
Best investments require knowledge.
Everything okay there? Everything's been blowing up this morning.
I know. Well, you would think that I was popular.
Is it anything good? No.
One of them is the property, but that's okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the other ones, I don't know. I guess it's Thursday morning. People miss me or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening, but so people like me. These are all my follow-up people.
I was
just calling me.
All my follow-up people. Yeah,
they're just calling me now to make sure I'm still going to buy.
I was actually thinking. I was waiting because I was waiting for you to pull a Lisa. I was waiting for you to say, yeah, and they're probably giving us a bunch of hearts on Facebook right now too.
I know.
You haven't asked for that yet today.
You have to stop
Give us
groveling
hearts
for that. I think they're just flowing through, right?
Is there even anybody on there, Emma? No, huh? Yes. No hearts?
We have no hearts. No hearts.
No hearts.
That's all right. I'm tougher. What's the no? We can take no hearts.
Exactly.
All right, so number 6.
So the best investment requires knowledge most don't have. I agree with that one. I completely agree with that one. That's not a myth.
Okay, so you're just okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wrote it thinking that it was, but now that I read it out loud, I actually agree with that.
Yeah,
I
actually agree with it too, but to me, that's almost like everything, right? I mean, it's how we learned how to walk, like how we learned how to talk. Like it's no one has all the knowledge, and you like learn it. Like I don't know. To me, I think that's just.
I think that I have some.
It is a truth, I think, but it's everywhere.
I personally, I'm not a conspiracist, but I have I do have some strange thoughts, and I understand that.
Okay. Bill Planet.
You had Planet Bill, right? I mean, if you look back at the Roman Empire, and it collapsed, right? The whole society collapsed.
Yeah.
If you read enough about it, you'll realize that the way that empire collapsed is because the herd was distracted. In other words, the herd meaning the most populous, the people, the herd mentality, was distracted. And the way they did it is that by having, those big, they used to put everybody in the arenas and they had all these shows and they kept them attracted. Yeah, all the gladiators and all that stuff. And they kept people's attention on that stuff. While a handful of people behind the scenes were doing other things. Okay?
Yeah.
And they killed the population.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's not much different than reality TV shows right now. And the way our government's going. It's like the herd sees, they're distracted with stupid things like Facebook, which we're on right now.
Right.
Stupid things like reality TV shows, The Bachelor. I don't understand that. My wife and I argue about that. I refuse to watch that show. And she's like, what is your problem with that? What makes it right that a girl can go on and screw 12 guys before she picks which one it could be her husband? Is that something I want to teach my children? But that's my take on it. It's not what most people think. It's probably not even I shouldn't even say it now out loud.
Yeah, well, it's a tangent. We can't lie. That's a tangent.
That happens in real estate too.
Right.
People get distracted with the wrong things.
Yeah.
And it looks complicated because they think, oh, I want to be a wholesaler. Oh, I want to be an REO person. Oh, I want to be a short sale expert. Oh, I want to be this. Oh, I want to be that. I want to be this. I want to be that.
Right.
Ron LeGrand said it best. Be a transaction engineer. Know how to put transactions together, no matter what they are. Because of that, man, I now have 7 offers that I make. I don't know. I've never heard of anybody else doing what we do. I've heard of them individually, but not teach all 7 collectively, right? Yeah. The reason why we do that is because the way the system works is you put out your mail, you cast your net. When it comes in, you do the math, which is the loan-to-value ratio.
Yep.
You figure out what your equity is, and you're going to talk to your owner about the equity. Because that's all they're in control of anyways. So you're mathematically figuring out which offers could they accept mathematically. Then the rest of it comes down to their willingness. Right?
Right.
Doesn't matter if it's a lease option, if it's a flip, if it's a rehab retail, or if it's a slot deal, or if it's a owner fine. It doesn't matter. You can give them the offer.
Right.
Okay. So, of course, being facetious about it, obviously you can watch my materials or our materials, and that's all. I mean, you need to have some data,
right?
But you don't need to know everything.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest problem that I have, me, Bill the Dealmaker, is keeping people on track with the system. Because the system I have, it works. It works for me, and it's worked for others around me. 85% of my personal coaching clients are doing business.
Right.
Because they just do each step, the next step, the next step, the next step. The hardest problem I have is putting people back on the rails when they come off the steps. It's the hardest part I have. Yeah. I'm not smart. I mean, I'm not dumb, but I'm not like some genius. Right. I don't have a PhD degree or something like that, right? The only thing that happened with me is I've done enough deals, and you too, you've done enough deals where you have experience. I organized it so that I can show my acquisition manager at the time, and my sales manager at the time, because I needed help. I was able to organize it and show it to them. Right. So I had experience, I organized it, and I made it so other people can understand it. Yeah. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why it works. Right. Is because I'm using very pragmatic, practical experiences. Yeah. And by the way, the environment keeps changing, so those things keep changing. Because 8 years ago, we didn't market like we are now. Right. Right. Now we market completely different than what we used to market. Yeah. We used to use "We Buy House" signs, abandoned signs. They're not working as good as they ever did. Right. I mean, we still put them up, but they don't draw. I mean, we used to put signs up on a Thursday night. We'd be busy till next Wednesday. Yeah. Yep. Well, internet changed it, completely. Yep. So, because even people see those signs and then they're like, "Oh, I'm still going to go online and Google "We Buy Houses," and then. I think you are correct, but I think what changed it even more is smartphones. Because with the advent of smartphones, I mean, everything's in your pocket. The whole world is in your pocket. That's right. We can find authors of books immediately. Find everything immediately. That's right. Yep. So I mean, right now my wife is in England. Yeah. And I talk to her like she's like in the other room. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not even like it's like. The only thing is the time of the day. So right. I know I can talk to her at 7 in the morning or 5 o'clock at night. Right. So I just put it in my schedule. Yeah. And it's like, other than that, there is no difference. Right. Right. I agree. Technology. Yeah. It's just freaking amazing. Yeah, it is. It is. Yep. All right, good. So if you want to learn about the stuff that we do here, what you could do is you can go to flippinghouses.club/coaching101. What we have is a private Facebook group that you can go there for. It's $67 a month for all this training we're talking about, which is very affordable for the working man. So much so that we believe in it, or I believe in it so much so that I'm going to give you the first month for $1. So you're not getting all the content, because I know how some people are. They'll come in and they'll rip off my content and then never come back. So for the $1, we'll drip content every week. You'll get some more. And then by the end of the month, you pay the $67. You get the full thing. I put everything that I have. I put all my scripts in there, my phone scripts, my exact mail that I mail, how I find the list to mail to. I have in there how to find the most active area in your town. There's just a lot of good stuff in there. There's hours and hours and hours of videos. The letters that I mail. The list that I use. I even have recordings in there of me talking to people when they came in, so you can hear what it sounds like. I've got a beginner's checklist in there that we put together, so when you're first starting out, you can just follow the checklist and not get lost. It's nice and smooth, and it's all there, and it gets you going. And on top of it all, it's on Facebook. Everything's right on Facebook, so it's a safe platform. You're not going to my website. It's not. You don't have to worry about anything. It's all right on Facebook. And then we have part of the $67 a month. You are part of a private. It's a private group. Yeah. It's a private group on Facebook where you can go in there and you meaning Lisa, myself, Jesse, and Peter, and of course Emma's always in the background. We monitor this page. It's not as active because we just started a few weeks ago. As it gets active, there's going to be 4 or 5 of us in there answering questions. Not to mention that once the group starts building, other people will be able to answer questions. So it's a great place to get coaching. That's why we call it Coaching 101. Because
it's a good network.
Yeah. So as you're doing these things, you're doing your mail or you're getting calls or you're setting up your voicemails and all that stuff, you just go in the group and ask as many questions as you want. It's all part of your membership. And I had to reel it in a little bit because we were doing a lot of training and spent a lot of time on that, and it was kind of starting to hurt my house business, so I had to reel it in and make it easy. So we came up with this idea, and Emma's done a phenomenal job of putting it together. So it's all working to the most part.
Send
We're
Emma
still
hearts.
Yeah, send Emma hearts. We're still working on a few glitches, but by the time this podcast airs, it will be fine. So just go to flippinghouses.club/coaching101, and there's a video there and description of how it all works, and you just sign right in. You don't have to leave Facebook. It's all right on Facebook. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, Lisa, thanks for being with me.
All right, no worries. Good time.
Keeping things going. And we're back to normal. Well, I don't know if we call it normal, but we're back to the Lisa and Bill show next week.
So we'll have to switch the chairs around
Yeah,
because
we'll
I think I'm in the Pete seat.
Yeah.
Pete seat.
So, Pete seat.
Pete.
All right, so we are going to run over to the. We now do the after podcast events, which we do in the private group. We actually go over there for about a half an hour and answer any questions, which is another benefit that we give.
Yeah.
That we actually go there. You can go on there usually around 10:45 on Thursday mornings, Eastern Standard Time, and type in your questions. And Emma reads us the questions,
She
and
does.
we answer them. And so any help you need, you can get live support from us. So it's another benefit for the $67.
Last week we just had one guy really asking us questions, so it was like a private session for him.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week, okay?
All right, bye.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in to the hottest real estate topics on the planet with Bill and Pete. If you want to continue learning how to buy and sell real estate without money or credit, head over to flippinghouses.club for some cutting-edge real estate wealth tools. Or contact us at info@flippinghouses.club.